Well, there we go. Hello, everyone. How are you? I hope you had a great week. And we have a very cool session coming today where I'm going to showcase a brand new feature that we introduced to the agency dashboard this week. And let me just change the view here. And we're going to take a few seconds to try and get more people joining us on the conversation. I have someone saying, "Hey, Vito, hello. Please click the link that was generated by StreamYard so that I can see who you are. How are you doing, Anil? Thanks for joining me. We're going to talk about time entries. Today, we're going to talk about time tracking, how to better estimate your projects and to understand what takes time. And through that, we're going to introduce a brand new feature, a massive feature that we added into the agency dashboard just this week. So I'm excited to dive in. Thank you for guys for joining me. Let's see who else is with us. Please tell me where you're connecting from. We got George with us. How you doing, George? I hope you enjoyed the summer, man. Let's see who is connecting from where. Facebook user, where are you from? And we have George here from Cyprus. That I already know, man. That's great. And let's see who else is joining the game. Cyprus as usual. Oh yeah. And that's what you did this throughout the summer. You worked. I can't say that I had a different experience myself. We have Ed. How you doing, Ed from Boston? How are you, Ed Booth? Maybe I don't know. It's Facebook user to me. But it's good to see all of you guys. So without further ado, let's dive in and see what was added to the AP from the UK. I got Andrew, I guess Andrew Palmer from the UK. What's up, Andrew? And let's see what we have on our new agency dashboard. So if you log into your agency dashboard now, you can see, or if we compare this to how it was before, we used to have a basic play button here that allowed you to track your time within a task. If you left and forget about this, it kind of stayed in there. But it was just the beginning of a feature. And you will see that we're doing that quite often with a lot of our features. We're kind of throwing something out there, see if there's any takers, if people are starting to use the new tool. And we're basically creating like small MVPs, making sure that there is enough usage to justify additional development into of that aspect. And then we create a massive overhaul of that feature, going super deep into this each aspect. And this is really something that I brought from my agency days. This is something that I recommended a lot of my clients to do as well, because a lot of times when a client comes to us and they have a request for, let's build the next Facebook, or I need a marketplace that does this and does that, and all of a sudden you have the scope of eBay or Amazon, and then it just becomes a bit of a mess. So my suggestion always for our user or for our customers was, let's start with an MVP. And then we'll listen to the public, we'll listen to the users, we'll get this out there fast, and then we'll see what works, what doesn't work, and adjust based on that. So from a development point of view, that's what we call agile development. But from a product design point of view, this allows us to get out to the market fast, get market feedback, understand what users are really looking for, and then focus our roadmap and focus our efforts into what makes the most impact on the end experience. And as an agency, this is also a great way for generating stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 of a project while you're working with your clients, so that it doesn't just end with the website and that's it, they're off to this, and maybe you get a small care plan but that's usually, or a lot of times, that's it. With that model, we were able to build relationships that were meaningful with our customers, because we never finished. And we know that people that work in this industry, that a platform or a web application or a website even, there is never a place where you can say done, right? It needs to evolve all the time based on the user's needs, based on the customer's needs, the business's needs. And so creating those additional layers is something that is super powerful. Anyway, I got into this to this concept because I explained to you how we're approaching our development within Atarim, that's what is now happening with the timers. So we started with a very basic feature to see if people are tracking time. We saw that people are tracking time, and we saw that people are asking for a lot of awesome features and expansions that we now have launched. So let's see what we have here. So right now I'm inside the agency dashboard, and I'm inside one of the websites, and I have a task open here that very commonly says make the logo bigger, right? And we can even see the automated screenshot that was marked on this page. So we know exactly what we need to do. And this is probably not going to take much time, but we still want to understand how things are working when we are working with clients, and see how much time things really take in reality. Because maybe we do need to generate an SVG for this project. Maybe we need to do something a little more. Maybe this is just the homepage logo. As we can see here, this is like an on-page logo. So probably we might need to go to a few other sections of the website and also make the logo bigger based on this request, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Add Timer here. And now a timer has started and was added to my active timers block that now appears right here. This is a brand new addition, and it allows you to kind of have a few different things that you're working on, not at the same time, but on the same day or through the same sprint, if you will. So this way you don't have to figure out what was I working on, what am I working on right now. You can have as many active timers as you want, and they will basically be stacked up here. As soon as you click that play button, it starts the timer straight away. And of course, we can pause it and we can start another timer and jump on to another task here. And please change this image. Sure, I'm going to work on this one now. And I'm going to go back to that logo thing because it's also required, right? Now, there's a few other levels to this little widgets that we're seeing here. So if I'm going to click on this, I can add a description to what I'm doing here. So it seems like we also need to make this change on, for example, the homepage and login screen and header and footer, because there's maybe also a logo sitting over there, as well as the my account and the 4 landing pages we created that do not show the header, the default header, right? Kind of scoping this up, creating a bit of description for this task. And this is obviously going to be a billable task, so I can mark this on here. Next, I'm just going to pause this as soon as I'm done. And of course, what I need to do now to get started on this task is simply click this button, which will take me directly to this website, and it's going to pop this message open for me. So I now know exactly where to start. Make this logo bigger, sure, edit the page. So it logged me in as I clicked this button, one click, and I know exactly where I am. If you're not familiar with the awesome open task button that we have up here. Now, I can also estimate the time that it's going to take me to do this task. And most of the times, we are going to underestimate how long things take. So I would say this, of course, this is just like a 3-minute task, right? 3 minutes and I'm done. But as you're working on something, you're going to realize that there's more to it, and there's other levels to it, as there's always are. And the cool thing is that having a proper estimation that is defined at the beginning of the task, it's gonna allow you to understand for the next task. Next time you're presented with this with this similar request, how long things really take. Because if I'm going to pause this and log this in, I'm going to have the tracked time stacked up in here. So I have the real understanding of what I thought it will take and how long things really take in the wild. And the difference is night and day. And not so much when we're doing such a tiny thing as make the logo bigger, but when we're building a form, this can be a difference between doing a 15-minute task and a 15-hour task. What is a form? A form can be anything, really. I can tell you that I myself lost a lot of money. And when I say a lot of money, it was I actually saw this happening with one project that we weren't tracking the time properly, and we lost close to £20,000. It was a huge project, but that was like one thing over a period of a year that we haven't tracked the time properly. And by the time that I got my act together, and because I was pushing out estimates that were underestimating the scope of work or the scope of work that that particular client wanted us to do for the website. So that cost me 20 grand, and never again. After that, I tracked every single thing, as little as it may be, including make the logo bigger. So you can track the time here, create the proper estimates, but this is a great exercise, not only for estimating cost to the client, but mostly for you, because seeing how long you think something takes compared to how long it really takes in the wild is going to help you better estimate for the next project and the next project. And you're going to see that your profitability increases because we're always underestimating time. And there's really a psychological aspect to why we're underestimating the time that it takes us to complete a task. The reason for this is because we believe it's because we're underestimating, and let me just kind of like give that the view. We're underestimating the time that tasks take because we enjoy what we're doing. Really, that's the gist of it. Because we have fun, working on a website, and this is what we like doing. Time passes fast, and time is subjective. It's not really, to a person, unless you're tracking it. It's not something that you can quantify accurately just by thinking about how long something takes. I can sit for 10 hours straight coding some new feature or building a new web page because it's fun, and I will take 3 hours to find the right images, and I will take 2 hours to play around with CSS until I get it just right, and maybe this border radius, maybe that box shadow. No, let's reduce 5% of the box shadow. So we do all of those things without noticing how much time it really takes until we see, oh my God, it's dark outside, right? So I'm sure you've all been in the same seat before, and that's why it's important to estimate the time, but also track the time so you can see the gap between your subjective feeling of how long something takes and reality, which is usually way, way off. So I'm going to go back to my screen here. So we tracked the time, and talking about this took me 5.5 minutes, almost 6 minutes, and I already thought it's going to take 3 minutes, right? So I'm already doubling my revenue just by doing this properly. Now, let me stop this, and I'm going to log this task, and I can even mark this task as complete. So now, if we have multiple people working on this change, make the logo bigger, as more people are tracking time for this task, we're going to see the tracked time point being increasing as we're going from one place to the next. So you can see we have this one, for example, we have the 5 minutes set up here. Now, what I can do is I can click this breakdown, see breakdown, and this is going to take me to our time entries screen, and it's going to give me a breakdown of the tasks that were created for this related entry. And I can jump around between the different websites to see what type of work we've done here, and maybe we have some time tracked here. No, this one we haven't tracked anything yet. Let me go back to my demo website here. Right, so we can see the things that we have tracked so far within this task. Now, more than that, we can add an entry. right from here on top, where we can choose the website that we want to assign this task to, or this time entry to. Choose the relevant task from the drop down, as well as search logo, make the logo bigger, right? We could choose who was working on this from our internal team. So that would be something that Jerome has worked on, and when, and this, as well as the start time and the end time. So Jerome started working on this at 2 and finished at 4:21, and we see that it's 2 hours here. Billable log time. Right, so now we have this one as well, tracked properly and in place. Now, what we can also do is we can filter those items to generate those accurate reports for our clients. So for example, if we're going to click here and see last month, probably nothing going to happen last month, but let's do this month, right? So we can see all the tasks that were tracked this month, or yesterday, or today. And then if I'm going to click this nifty button here, it's basically going to create a report for me that is branded with whatever logo you have set within your agency dashboard. So here we still have we have our default logo, but you can upload your own agency's logo up to here, and that will make sure that this is visible within the client interface plugin on the interface itself, but also when you're creating those timesheets to send out to clients, it will make sure that the report is nicely branded. So one thing that I wanted to kind of showcase here is the way that we've structured those different items, because everything does something else. So if I'm going to click on Jerome and I want to see what Jerome is doing, so this is going to take me to the activity feed, and we can see all of the different items that were done by the different team members on here, right? And I think this is going to be on me, actually. Yes. And then when I'm going to go back to the time entries, I have another place here we have the description, we have the name of the task, and we have the website. Clicking on this is going to give me all of the tasks from this particular website. And then we have the start and the end time, and clicking on billable is going to switch this from billable to non-billable as well. Right, so we have those items in here, and on the reports, whatever we have in our view is what we're going to see on this PDF. So if we're going to say only the non-billable ones, now we can see on the non-billable and create a PDF. And then we see all of those items that we've seen in there that all say no, 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 no on the billable, right? Right, that's it, really. So what we did is we introduced this feature to allow you to better understand how you and your team are spending your day. More than that, once you get everyone in the habit of tracking every single minute of their work, going into the dashboard, you can see the time that was tracked by the different members of your team over the past 30 days. Why is this important? This is great for projecting growth. So let's say that you see that someone has reached 150 hours that were tracked over the past 30 days. Probably it's time to hire another team member. Or even at 120 hours, that would be a good idea to start thinking about who else can I bring over to the team. Another way of looking at it is if you're tracking 120 hours of work, but at the end of the day, not much money is left, or not much revenue or profit is left for you, or then it's probably time to up your prices to make sure that you can grow confidently. A lot of times we do those things in just like guessing mode instead of really understanding how the agency is operating. So everything here in Tandem is going to allow you to do that. Another cool block here that we have that is related to time tracking is websites with most time tracked. And that gives you the top 5 websites that you track time on, or the top 5 clients, if you will, that has taken time from you over the past 30 days. So why do we want to know that? We want to understand who is wasting our time, or who we are investing our time into. And what do I mean by that? Uh, a client can either waste our time because they're taking away our most precious resource and then not paying for it, or they're investing time, or we're investing time into them because they're paying properly and the relationship is growing. That's healthy. The other one is not. But what you will find is that basically we have a classic 80-20 rule when it comes to time being used by different clients. 20% of your clients are taking away 80% of your time, and that is, of course, it's a rule of thumb, but in most cases this applies, and that is a great way to really understand who are those clients in an objective way, so that you can have those hard conversations sometimes and say, listen, we got to charge you for those things, or listen, this is not working out. And just by releasing a client that is sucking away a lot of your day, you might be able to release a lot of hours out of your day to find the next best client that you may have. So it's a healthy process that we should go through as we are doing those as we are growing our agencies. So this is why we have this KPI here: websites with most track time. We want to see who are the websites and customers that we are investing the most into, and see if it makes sense or not. Cool. That is it. So this is the time entries feature. Let's see if we have some questions here on the side. Please drop in your questions. I'm going to go and answer a few that has popped in here. So we have one here. It would be great if we can export the time logged to Airtable or even to zero. So that's awesome. One thing that I can tell you is that we are in the end steps of building our first big integration. The first big integration is going to be to Zapier, so that will allow you, Facebook user, to export those things to Airtable and to Zero, and you should expect that within the next month or so to be released. And so that is definitely something that we're looking into through our integrations. Now, what else do we have here? We have Disha. What's up, Disha? Don't forget that time is money, yes. And in a web designer's life, it becomes as literal as possible. Yes, definitely, I would agree. And this is something that I got burnt with, as I mentioned a few times before, and especially as you're growing your business, you're growing your agency, and you're becoming more of the manager. Then your team members are, a lot of times they're interacting with your end clients on their own through Atarim or through a support desk or something like that. And then what happens is that clients would come in with requests, they will do them, not track them. And that's it. You will never know because you're out there hustling, trying to bring in business to hire the next employee instead of recovering profits that are already within inside your house. So I definitely am with you on this one, Disha. Right, we have Facebook user is back with that would be great with Zapier. Thank you. Yes, I'm really excited for this. And to be honest, on a personal note, this was really something that moved me to see our logo as and now we're kind of testing these integrations out. So to see our logo inside Zapier after using this solution for many years throughout my agency, and then now with Atarim, we rely heavily on automation, and that was really just like one of those I made it type of moments when you see this in there. So that was really cool. What's up, Lydia? I am, let me put this in. I am Vito. I'm the founder of Atarim. Let me see if we can see. Wow, I wonder why people can't see my name here. Yeah, I wonder. I don't know why. But thanks for joining us, Lydia. And we're talking about time tracking and time entries within agencies and how important that is. So we have a Facebook user. Maybe it's the same one. Maybe it's a different one. Can you do a time report per client in case they have multiple websites? No, but that reminds me of something that is coming next, which is the projects. The projects are basically types of libraries that allow you to bundle up different clients and different websites into a library, right? Or a bucket. So in that case, yes, we will be able to see what's to generate those reports for multiple websites at the same time. Right now, you would need to click on the website on the left-hand side right here, choose the website, and generate the report accordingly. Oh, wait, let me go to the time entries, right? So you get the report based on that website. But that's a great point. Thank you, Facebook user. Clicked on details to see name. Okay, that's great. I wish I could do it. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, as soon as I remove the block, then we get the name. So how you doing, Lydia? I'm Vito. All right, let's see if we have any other questions before we wrap up this Friday. Anything else coming in, guys? Let's see. No, I think this is it. All right. So I would like you to like to encourage you to start tracking your time religiously within your agency. This is gonna free up so much profit that you have no idea. And it doesn't matter if you're a freelancer or you have a massive team, especially if you have a massive team. But you're probably already aware of it if you're running if you're working with team members, even with contractors, subcontractors. Every person that does something for your clients need to track their time, and it's a lot harder for us to grasp during the freelancing days. So I would like to encourage you to do this even as an experiment for a week to see the difference, and I can guarantee that you are going to be amazed by the time that is being wasted and is not being accounted for unless you track your time properly and you bill your clients for this additional time. So have a great Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend. And thank you for joining me today. I'll see you on the next announcement.